Happy Monday, everyone. So happy to see your faces on here. End of February, you guys already. If you didn't know it was leap year, it is. We have an extra day. I didn't know that until well into the month. So in case you missed it, it is a leap year. We do have 3 more days of this month, but February is winding down. And tonight we're going to talk about authentic outreach, which is the next level of what we started talking about a couple weeks ago. With just transformational conversations and all of that stuff. So before we dive in, I did ask Christy if she would share with us tonight. Many of you know that we were just in Punta Cana for Leaders Retreat, 7 people from our team. But for Christy, it was her very first Leaders Retreat and such a big deal. And so I just asked if she would real quick share a few thoughts with us, maybe a few takeaways or just her experience. So Christy, tell us all about it.
Yes. So hopefully it is the first of many, because once you go to one Plexus event, you want to go to more. It's so fun from I would say the moment we stepped off the plane, everything was Plexus, but even before we got on the plane, just getting to meet people in person who I've only seen online. It was so amazing to put my arms around people and hug them in real life. It was just awesome. And yeah, sorry, I'm in Target pickup line and I already have my stuff, but he walked up to my window. Um, so yeah, it was amazing to just be in good company and meet people. My One of my favorite parts was that I got to bring my husband and my baby with me, because Plexus is just so generous with, allowing you to bring a guest and so welcoming with families. There are lots of other people with families and kids there. So it was just such a welcoming experience. And like I said, I never want to not go to another one again. I feel like I'll have FOMO if I do. So I definitely caught the bug, or lit the fire, if you will. Um, it was just, I don't know, it was such a perfect combination of relaxing, but also being with people that just have similar passions and excitement for the business. So super excited. Now it's back to cold and reality and working towards the next trip. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yay. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, it was amazing. Victoria, the best part was the corn on the cob. You're going to have to tell that story. Um, okay, so it was fantastic. And yes, so excited to have Christy there. And I just have to tell you guys that Christy was one of those people that said, I am finding a way to make this happen. I'm going to be in Punta Cana. Like she claimed it and then she set a goal. She showed up and did the things to reach the goal and then she was there. Okay. So you don't have to be a diamond, an emerald, a ruby. Like you can start for Leaders Retreat, you can start with 0 team and you can still earn Leaders Retreat. So when Christy, you started the Leaders Retreat contest, you were silver, right? And by the end of it, she was gold. So that's exactly what these contests and things are for, is to help you grow your business and just provide that extra motivation because, Punta Cana trip for 2 is pretty stinking good motivation. So yeah, it was really exciting to have all of the ladies there. Big shout out to everyone who was there. Yeah, I went silver 4 years ago. That's amazing. Right, Christy? Yeah, good.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I couldn't get the
Oh, that's
unmute
fine.
button.
No, you're fine. Yeah, so even if you have been here a long time and you've, been kind of sharing or half sharing and you're like, you know what, this is time. This is the year I'm going to do it. You can decide and you can do that. You have a whole year till the next Leaders Retreat, and I'm sure it's going to be just as amazing. So we have lots of time to do the things. Okay, so kind of pivoting a bit, first of all, there's 15 people on and I am so excited. This is like a great turnout and you guys have your cameras on. This is great. I just all of a sudden I felt nervous because I saw so many faces, but this is great. We're all friends here. I'm so excited to see you guys. But we're going to talk about developing the skill of selling. And I feel like this is a conversation I've had with a lot of people, with myself, kind of relearning how to do things on social media and in conversations. So we're going to talk tonight a lot about conversations and verbiage. And then next week, and probably the following week as well, we are going to talk about social media. Because if you guys haven't noticed, things have really changed. And what was working even a couple of years ago, like 2020, 2021, is not so much working anymore. It is very different now. So if you've been posting and messaging and you're like, I'm not getting the same results that I was getting, just know like you're not alone. We're literally relearning how to do things. And it's the post-COVID landscape for what we do is very different than it was during COVID. So the skill of selling has to be developed. But the good news is you're all smart people and you all can learn new things, right? We do it all the time. So if you feel like, man, I don't excel at this, it's okay. We're going to learn it together. We've all experienced selling done poorly, right? Everyone has had a bad sales experience. And maybe when you talk to people, they're like, no, I don't do any MLMs. Well, what that means to me is someone just had a bad experience, right? And so this week, actually, I had someone message me that I had not talked to in a long time. And she just said, hey, have you ever tried Monat? We have buy two, get two free. And I was like, hi, hi, how are you? You know, like she just came right at me with her product. And then she didn't wait for my answer, right? She just asked me, had I ever tried it? And it's like a hair product. And then before I even answered, she said, we have buy two, get two free. So number one, she didn't wait for my answer. And number two, her products have zero value for me because I don't know what they are. I don't know if I need them. I don't know why I need them. So that discount and sale of buy two, get two free could be the most amazing thing in the world, but there is zero value attached to it because I don't know if I need it, right? So I was looking at this conversation, and because I like to support, like she's an acquaintance, I like to support people who do what we do, right? I'm like, I'd be happy to chat with you about, you know, what you have to offer. Like I've never taken a look at it. You can give me some information. She sent me a cart, like a shopping cart, and she's like, here's what I think you'd really like. And it was like a full cart of all the products that she thought I would like, but she didn't ask me what kind of hair I had, what I would like to work on with my hair, how my scalp was, right? It was just like, we have a great deal. Here's a shopping cart. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, and we have a money back guarantee. So I was like, wow, goodness, you don't even know what kind of hair I have. And I was like, guys, I think we've been guilty of doing this on some level, every single one of us, right? Because she probably knows that her products are great. And she can probably look at my hair and think, oh, she needs this. But she didn't establish the need that I had, right? I don't know that I need her products. So the deal meant nothing to me. And we're guilty of this. We often lead with deals or with posting about deals or specials or things we have going on, but it provides zero value for our audience unless we've established the need, right? Unless in conversation we have figured out that people actually need our products, then we can talk about what we have to offer. We can provide a solution. So we're going to talk about conversations tonight. And then we're going to shift and in the following weeks talk about social media because again, so much has changed. And we really need to think about what we do as solving problems. Okay, we are professional problem solvers. I want you to think about leading with the problem that people have for every post, every conversation that you have. Lead with the problem because once a problem is identified, the problem could be you need to lose weight, you're struggling with inflammation, you have no energy, your joints hurt all the time. We have so many solutions to different problems. Like that's what's really, really wonderful about what we do is we can solve a lot of problems with our products and with our community, right? Maybe someone is lonely in their wellness journey. We can solve that problem, but we have to identify a problem first. Then we can ask permission to offer a solution. Once a solution is offered, it has intrinsic value. Okay. If you can solve a problem for me, I'm in, right? The price almost doesn't matter. If it really solves a problem I have, it has intrinsic value. Then we can talk about deals, prices, promos, money back guarantees, right? Does that make sense? Like we have to establish the need first. The way that we sold 3 to 5 years ago really doesn't work anymore. We used to be able to be very transactional and just say like, I have a thing, it's a great deal, here's the price, and people would buy it. Like we could be very like salesy and lead with the products in our posts and in our stories and throw up a link and people would really do it. But that's not really working anymore. And some of you feel stuck because you're doing things the old way and it's not getting the same result. Okay, so we're going to focus on how we develop this skill of selling. And I want to encourage you, if you didn't watch the call from 2 weeks ago, we talked about authentic outreach. And that was all about transforming your conversations with your current customers, like how to really serve your current customers, how to circle back to your past customers, and conversations to have with prospects. So important. So if you haven't watched that, circle back, grab that recording. I can send it to you if you need it. Watch that training. But right now we're focused on prospects. We're talking about your content and your conversations. The big shift is going from that transactional mindset to a transformational mindset. What is the transformation that we offer people? Because if you look at your posts, if you look at your messages, you're either being transactional or transformational. Even as you're coaching business builders and people that want to share, is it about their transformation and their journey in the business, or is it just transactional? Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? We have to be transformational. And I love how Bob Heilig explains this. He says, if you feel called to serve and transform people's lives through your products, then you have a moral obligation to learn how to grow a big team. Okay. If you feel called to serve and transform people's lives through your products, then you have a moral obligation to learn how to grow a big team. Because the truth is, the more people we bring in, the more impact we have, right? So if you really, really believe that what we do helps people, you have an obligation to learn how to do it well. Okay, so we want to learn how to do it well. And we don't want to be transactional. We don't want to be that hair lady. That was so salesy, right? I was like, dang, girl, you could not have reached out to someone more open to network marketing. And yet I'm like so triggered right now by your sales conversation. So we want to do better. And if you've done it poorly in the past, it is okay. You can actually circle back to people and be like, wow, when I first talked to you about Plexus, I was really bad at this. I've learned so much. Would you be open to chatting with me again? Right? You can even go back. It's okay. Everybody is bad in the beginning, right? We all are. So with this transformational mindset, there's 3 factors to keep in mind. I'm just going to go through them. The first factor is focus on value instead of price. Okay, focus on value instead of price. The value of what we're offering has to outweigh the cost of the products, right? If you just tell me buy 2, get 2 free, I have no value. I don't want to spend $1 with you because I have no perception of value. So what we're offering the value of it has to outweigh the cost of the product. So are you leading with the transformation? Things to think about that add value. Let people know we have support groups, right? When you join in February, what do you get? Your February support group, you're added in. Our wellness challenges and accountability groups. When it's about transformation, the value goes sky high, right? Value goes sky high. This also applies to asking a current customer to host an event. Anytime you're making an ask, you need to make sure that you're communicating the value of it and that the value outweighs the cost. Okay, so if you're asking a happy customer to be a co-host, right? We've got these virtual events happening every 2 weeks. They need to know that the value of what they'll be getting out of it is going to outweigh the cost of time, energy, discomfort, whatever they might experience. Okay. So we need to make sure that we're clear on what the cost is. What is the ask, right? Hey, I'm asking you to co-host this event. It's going to require you inviting people, having conversations, and here's what you'll get out of it, right? Maybe someone's motivated by making a difference and helping others. So you could say, this is a great opportunity to help friends get healthy. Maybe they're motivated by the income opportunity. And you can say, if you have 3 friends join, you'll make $300, right? Kind of knowing who you're talking to and what is a good motivator for them will help you, but we have to establish value. Never talk price until you've established value. So as you're following up with people or you're talking to prospects, if you haven't established value, you should not be talking about price, okay? Once you have, the price really is not a problem. In fact, I think we're going to get a lot less cost objections when we just establish the value well, right? Because it doesn't matter if it's $124 or $114. The value to them is so high because it's about the transformation that people, aren't going to get hung up over whether or not we have a $10 code for them. Okay. Even though I love those things and they're fun. When we establish the value, we don't have to worry so much about price. So that's factor one, value before price. Factor two, don't offer the solution until you've identified the need. So again, think about your conversations. Don't offer the solution until you've identified the need. I'm going to go back to the sweet lady, okay? She offered me the solution. Here's the cart with all the things you need without knowing what my need was for my head, for my hair, okay? We trigger people's sales resistance when we jump right to offering solutions. They just feel like they're being sold to. They don't feel understood. We don't want to be that person, okay? We can learn to ask good questions to identify needs and then ask permission to share solutions. So here's what I've been doing. I have a group, an anti-inflammatory eating group. And basically this for me is a way to add value to strangers and kind of catch people to have conversation with, like people I never would run into. They're from everywhere. And people search that keyword on Facebook. So people just join this group from nowhere. I ask them questions. So I will message them when they join and I'll say something like, hey, I saw that you joined the anti-inflammatory eating group. I'm the admin. My name's Brittany. I love to help people with their wellness journey. What brought you to the group, right? Ask a question. They'll tell me I have an autoimmune disease. I need to get my inflammation under control. I'll talk back and forth with them a little bit. And then I'll ask them permission. I'll say, could I share with you what has really helped me in that area? Or could I share with you what has really helped me in my wellness journey? Or could I share with you what has really helped me lower inflammation? Just connect back and ask permission. Could I share it with you? You'll almost always get a yes to that question, right? Because I've identified a need. Now I'm asking if I can offer you a solution to that problem you have that we're talking about, right? So it's centered on you. I'm not triggering sales resistance because I didn't jump right into, oh, I have a thing. Here's all the products I take. Just, can I share with you? And then when they say yes, you can go right into, these are some products I take. I try to also add like, here's some nutrition tips, or here's an exercise thing, or whatever, something else that's non-plexus that speaks to their need. But those conversations flow very naturally because they're transformation focused. And I signed up a lady this month, total stranger. She's in our new to plexus chat. She's doing reset. She ordered a very large welcome pack through that group. Someone I never would have talked to, like never would have bumped into, right? So not that you have to start a whole new group, but in the conversations you're having, it can have that same kind of flow, right? Someone comments on your post that you did about, not having energy and now you do. You can message them and say, hey, is that something that you struggle with? Talk back and forth, figure out what their need is. And then you can ask them, could I share with you something that's really helped me in that area? So easy, right? And that's a transformational conversation instead of a transactional conversation, okay? So all of this is, don't offer the solution until you've identified the need. If you aren't recruiting people, like if you aren't signing up new customers, either you aren't having conversations, so maybe you really haven't been having conversations, or you're not doing this step well. And it's okay. I've definitely gone through many seasons where I haven't done it well, and I'm learning a lot in this area, okay? So we are, number one, focusing on value instead of price. Number two, don't offer the solution until you've identified the need. And then factor number three is realizing that your existing team, who you have right now, isn't going to get you where you want to go. Okay, your existing team isn't going to get you where you want to go. This, I feel like, is a lesson that I've learned over and over again. But it's what that means is you just have to make your own personal business a priority. Whether you have a little team or a big team, your personal business, you recruiting, you duplicating, you learning leadership has to be a priority. And I'll just share personally, I remember when I hit gold, I had a couple people working with me and I thought, this is great. I don't really have to do anything. I can just kind of sit back and all these people just like push me up to be a diamond. That is not the case. And what happened was really quickly, I started to go backwards because I stopped showing up and working my personal business. So I learned the lesson, I got back into action. And then when I hit emerald, in 2020. I was like, this is it. This is the bottom of the exponential growth curve. And we're just going to zoom up to diamond and it's all going to be easy. And no, that didn't really happen. Right. And that's okay. Like sometimes we think we've arrived and that the current people on the team, they're the ones that are going to take us to the next level. But pretty much every step of the way, you have to have new people working with you, right? Because some people are going to leave, some people are only going to go so far, and we have to constantly be working our personal business, okay? Also, what happens is when you're working your personal business, your team sees you showing up and excelling, and they're like, oh, she does know how to do the things. He does know how to do the things. And they're motivated to do it alongside you, right? Yes, we've never arrived. We're always learning and growing. We're always bringing new people in. And honestly, when we're service focused and we know that what we have to offer makes an impact, you're not going to be like, oh, my current team is going to push me up. That's actually a terrible mindset. And I'm like ashamed that that's how I felt because I wasn't focused on other people at that time, right? I was not focused on, we need to help as many people as possible. It was like, oh, my goal will be met, so I'm fine. That's not a good attitude. That is not a good attitude. And I had to make a shift. All right. So your existing team isn't going to get you where you want to go. If you're starting over, good. That's amazing. I had a conversation with someone today who told me she feels like she's starting over and she's like, I feel like I'm asking so many questions. I was like, that's amazing. If you're starting over, do not be ashamed about that. Because guess what? I just told you everything has changed in the past 3 years. So if you're starting over, just embrace that and learn things the right way as you get restarted. Like that's awesome. Take the opportunity to learn how to do things a new way and invite people to do it along with you. You can even say to people that maybe started working with you in the past and quit, hey, I'm doing things a new way. I'd love for you to do this again with me. Do you want to restart with me? Right? Like bring people along with you. Okay, so we'll end with this, a little framework for authentic outreach in business conversations, okay? Bob teaches this. I want to share it with you guys. He calls it the ACA framework, and it's just a little acronym: acknowledge, compliment, ask. So when you're having a business conversation, you are reaching out to someone about the business, which we got to be doing if we want to attract business builders and grow our team. Acknowledge, compliment, ask. So acknowledge the reason that you're reaching out to them. Be honest and clear. You do not have to beat all around the bush. You can be honest and clear. The C, compliment, tell them why you think they'd be a good fit for the business. Tell them honestly why you're messaging them, why you thought of them, and then ask. Ask if they would be open to having a conversation about what you do. Any other ask is too big. Okay. We're not asking, do you want to join my team? We're not asking, do you want to build a huge business with Plexus? You're asking, would you be open to having a conversation? That's the appropriate level ask. Okay. If yes, you can schedule a call with them, set up a coffee date, chat back and forth in Messenger, whatever it is. As you're doing these business conversations, remember that not everyone is motivated by money. Okay. There's 3 big motivators. Money and opportunity is one. And we talk about $300 for silver, right? Opportunity to build a team. Like that's one. The second is time and flexibility. And the third is purpose and meaning. Okay. Not everyone is a money motivated person. So you want to ask questions to determine where people are at. Ask questions that identify the problem. Okay. Circling back to problem so that we can provide the solution, right? We talked about health problems and providing solutions. Same thing with the business. Questions like, would you ever go back to work? How do you manage your work and family life? What's been the hardest part for you about not working anymore? How are you feeling about retirement? Are you able to do the things you want with your family? That establishes problems that people have. And then you can share Plexus as a solution, share the business as a solution. Okay. So those are just examples, but it's acknowledge, compliment, and ask. Bob also teaches a shorter version of this. If you have someone that you just want to like go for it, you just want to, in one message, present the business opportunity to them. This is a direct ask. And here is the framework for it. He says, I'm looking for blank, a specific person who are struggling with blank problem to find more solution. You came to mind because compliment. Would you be open to having a conversation? And I'm going to put this in the chat so that you can see what I'm talking about, because I know there's a lot of blanks there. And then I'll give you an example. Okay. So you can look at that. You want to tailor that to the specific person you're talking with, but I'm going to give you 3 examples. Let's take someone who's motivated by money and opportunity, right? Here's an example. You look at this framework as I tell you. I'm looking for stay-at-home moms who are struggling to find good part-time work, find a career that can pay really well and is also fun and fulfilling. You came to mind because I know you had a career before the kids that you loved, and I really enjoy interacting with you as a customer. Would you be open to having a conversation? Okay, so that is an example of someone who might be motivated by money and opportunity. I'll put it in the chat, who is on your current team as a customer. Here's another example, someone who's motivated by time and flexibility. I'm looking for busy working moms who are feeling burned out, help them find more flexible work that allows them to spend more time with their family. You came to mind because I know you're a hard worker and more importantly, how great of a mother you are. Would you be open to having a conversation? Okay, that's someone who's maybe looking for time and flexibility. And the third example, purpose and meaning. I'm looking to find men who don't completely love the work they do and want to find a career that can give them a greater sense of purpose. You came to mind because I know we've spoken in the past about your work and I really respect who you are as a person. Would you be open to having a conversation? Okay, so these are obviously tailored to a specific person that you're thinking of. But as you're looking for business partners, remember you're auditing people to work with you. You don't have to work with everyone, right? Steph and I were talking about this today. You can look through the people on your team. There may be people that you're like, you know what? I'm not sure I want to link arms in business with this particular customer. That is okay. Okay. Think about people that you would be okay being on vacation with, right? All the girls in Punta Cana last week. Wonderful people. Like, how fun to vacation with your business partners. As you're having business conversations, you want to be talking to people that you could vacation with. Okay. Not everyone is a good fit. But as you look through your team or as you look through your prospects, if you see someone's name or come across someone that you know would be a great fit to partner with for your business, these kind of messages can go a long way. And I think it's so, so important for us to remember that it's not just money and opportunity. There are other reasons to do this. And we might be missing people if we're just focused on the $300 for silver, right? That might not speak to them at all. It might be about impact. It might be about flexibility. Okay. So you can see how just a few of these conversations could really transform your business. These are those quality conversations we keep talking about, right? Victoria led us onto this and said, like, hey, one a week, right? If we have one quality conversation a week, that's 52 business conversations in 2024 that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And that is guaranteed to transform your business, right? They're not all going to jump in with you, but even if 2 do or 3 or 4 do, you'll have a totally different business by the end of the year, okay? And one final thought, because I know we're out of time, is go for your A-listers. Go for those people who you know that are already successful. Do not be afraid to talk to the motivated, successful, passionate people. Those are the people you want on your team. And those are the people that know a good opportunity when they see it. We often get too scared to message them and we're like, oh, they're all set. They're already crushing it in that area, or they're so busy. They wouldn't want to do this. Don't decide that for them. Let them make that choice, right? It could be true, but it could be that they're looking for something else, or that maybe they make a lot of money, but they hate their job, or they're unfulfilled, or their work-life balance is a wreck, right? So look for those A-list people. That is who you want. And there's obviously a ton of crossover here with social media content, with leading with the problem, focusing on transformation. So that is where we're going to go next week. We're going to dive more into our content and how that needs to change, how what worked 3 years ago is not so much what's working now. So I want to encourage you guys to come back next week, and we'll probably have to do the next week as well. But wrapping up, it is the end of the month. A lot of you have big goals for March. March is a huge stepping stone month for your big goals that you want to hit before convention. So I've been doing coaching calls, had a couple great calls with you guys today. I want you to know that I am available if you want to chat through, what you want to do in March, goals you have, whether that's ranking up or a certain point goal or whatever. Please reach out to me. Let's get a call on the calendar. Let's figure out what you can do, what's high priority for you, right? Because the big thing when you're going for a goal is belief you can do it and being able to prioritize what's going to move the needle. and kind of let go of the other things. So please let me know. I'd love to chat with you guys one-on-one to help you reach your goals, but dive into these conversations, like get really curious about the conversations that you're having, implement some of these things. And if I had to just boil it all down and make it really simple, focus on the transformation, right? Find the problem first before you offer the solution. Focus on the value instead of the price. And it's really about the person's transformation, not a transaction. So, okay. I know that was a lot. I hope it was helpful. And again, thank you guys so much for being on and having your cameras on so I can see your faces. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Have a great night, guys.